Back to Iowa Live. We're going to continue to talk movies. Jeff Stein was just talking about Twister.
Movie Monday.
That's right. It's Movie Monday around here. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I wanted to ask do you watch every movie? Do you make a point to watch every movie out there?
I try to. You know, movies are a good capsule of life, to make it sound very eloquent. But no, I love movies. It's kind of an escape, and it's been a passion of mine since high school, and then into college, and then, into free time today. So I try to see them all.
Very nice. Well, Nathan McVeigh joining us again today. You, of course, gave us some reviews on Fridays of some of the ones that are coming out. Well, today we're going to have a little different twist on things with Cinemaniacs, and we're going to talk about movies that have already been released, some a long time ago.
Of course.
And maybe we want to, if we haven't seen them, check them out, or if we have, it's good, maybe worth revisiting, right?
For sure,
and you're going to tell us why.
Yeah, and each week we're going to have a special theme on this. And this segment's brought to you by Video Warehouse, where you're going to be able to find all of the movies that I talk about.
Yeah, and I think that's great because with so much of the streaming and the online, and the accessibility that way, it's nice to know that there's actually a location where we can still go and get all of the different selections and things that are available.
Than having
so we'll find out more about that here in a little bit.
Yeah, it's so great to have everything in front of you, to still be able to go through aisle to aisle to find. And so each week we're going to have a special theme. And so we're tying it into this past week, the great success of Us, which was directed by Jordan Peele, and it was his second feature. Now, not every time after someone has an amazing debut do they follow it up. It's kind of called the Sophomore Slump, filmmakers. And
Sophomore Slump.
Sophomore Slump. So today we are focusing on the best films to overcome the sophomore slump. Now, perhaps the most well-known film to overcome the sophomore slump is Jaws.
Oh, Jaws. That ruined all of us for swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, so this film, it won Best Picture in 1976. That's a pretty good way to make a splash after your first film by winning Best Picture. It came out in 1976, and it terrified everyone from jumping in the water. And the thing I love about it is you see there, that's not CGI, and that's not special effects, but it's 2019, and that's still scary. And that's kind of why I think this film really worked, is the thriller elements, the amazing acting from such incredible actors that you see on screen, and also just really captivating that horror genre and really taking it to the fullest, much like Jordan Peele did with Us. This is a movie you know, right?
Yeah, and it is actually. I know. My movie repertoire is small, but yes, I do know. And you'd mentioned that this is one of the biggest movies that most everybody has seen.
Yes. No, it's amazing. It's still great today, still works, even though it's been, 43 years since it's came out, and it's still scary.
And then I found it interesting, the movie that Spielberg followed up this one with was...
The first one was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, space, aliens, invasion. Very kind of genre-fying, very thriller, kind of the unknown, but it still is a sharp right turn it took.
And there's others in the series. There's Jaws 2 and 3. Aren't there
not Spielberg made it.
They're not quite as good. So just stick with the original, right?
Yeah,
okay,
sure,
and another classic.
So the next one we got right here is Pulp Fiction. This might be the second best sophomore feature, if you ask me. This is a classic. It's Tarantino. It's everything that Tarantino does great. It's amazing cast, crazy action, a little bit of gore and brutality, very
Just the right amount of
it depends on what you can stomach. There are definitely R-rated films, but it's definitely the auteurism, as you would call it, for Tarantino. I love every single one of his movies that he's come out with. Some more than others, but Pulp Fiction rates right amongst the best.
I've seen this one too. It's a good one.
You're doing so good.
I am so far.
So
now you're going to lose me though here with the next ones that we have.
Of course. So the next two are going to be my
these are your
signature
favorites.
ones. Yeah. So those are the kind of more well-known ones. These are, you go a little under the radar, not too much, but one of my favorites is The Town, directed by Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck we know as being the Oscar-winning writer for Good Will Hunting and the boyfriend of Jennifer Lopez. and then Jennifer Garner. So he's known more for the tabloids, but this was the moment where he really established himself as an incredible director. I love The Town. I love bank heist movies and robberies and action, but this one, it was way...
How old a movie is this?
This came, I think, like 2008, maybe?
Okay.
Something like that. Not 2010. So about 9 years old. You know, anyone can make a movie where you rob a bank or a train,
right.
but robbing a baseball stadium? That sounds cool, doesn't it?
It does. What are you robbing at a baseball stadium?
Money.
Money.
All of the money.
Money
You think about
that's
it,
sitting
you
there.
get, you know,
Yes,
80,000 people to
that's
go
true.
to some place. And so this is as Boston as it gets. It's a great Boston crime thriller with great actors. And they go to Boston's baseball stadium and they try to steal the money. A really, really great cast. Jeremy Renner was nominated for an Oscar for this. I love Jeremy Renner. Ben Affleck is great in this movie. Rebecca Hall's a wonderful actress as well. She's really, really good. This movie's awesome.
Okay,
It
well,
rocks.
see, I like this because I'm not familiar with it, so this will give me one to, you know, this is important for the nights when you're like, oh, let's watch a movie tonight, and you can scroll through there, you don't know whether, so this will give us some
That's
direction
why you bring
with
me
that.
on the
Okay,
show.
your
I'm here for you.
I know, I love it. So your next
So
next favorite,
This is a
Whiplash.
little Sundance darling, Whiplash. Oh, where are we at? Right here. Whiplash is wonderful. This movie was at Sundance. I was actually in the world premiere of this film when it came
Really?
out. Yeah. It's my little humble brag. It's from Damien Chazelle, who won an Oscar for La La Land. He was the director for La La Land.
Sure,
And
I've seen that one too.
Oh, we're doing great.
good,
And then
yeah.
last year he directed First Man. This movie is intense. It's probably the scariest non-horror movie you're ever going to see. That's Miles Teller, and he is a drummer that goes to one of the most prestigious music schools in the world. And he goes there, and the teacher is a monster. He is a very hard-pushing, pretty brutal, abusive mentally and physically to try to get him to be the best. So the film really kind of is about the lines that you draw at how hard are you supposed to push someone to be great,
interesting.
and how hard are you going to let yourself get pushed? And so he kind of falls into the trap of the abuse from J.K. Simmons, who won an Oscar for this movie.
Okay.
And it's great. And I watched it again last night, and the thing about it, since it's drumming, you have got like that beat of the drum, which kind of matches your heart. And so the scenes where there's like your heart is just going a million miles per hour, and it's intense and it's good. I love this movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, another one I'll add to my to watch list.
Perfect.
Okay, now this next one,
I
we're
got
on a
one.
lighter note, on a lighter side.
I got one.
We
I know
got to
you've
have one
seen.
for the kids.
I know you've seen this one. We got Up.
I have. I've seen that several times. I love this
It's
movie. I love the
so-
story. I love the animation. I love it.
It's probably the saddest animated movie of all time.
It's definitely
in my
a
opinion.
tearjerker for sure, but it's just it's a good, well done
It's so
movie.
good. So this is directed by Pete Docter, whose first one was Monsters, Inc., which is also
yes, that's
one of my
that's a
favorite
good one.
Pixar movies. This film is so good. It follows the story of a Boy Scout and an old man, Carl, who he's kind of lost himself when his wife has passed away.
Cranky.
And yes, very cranky, very crotchety old man. But with the help of a few balloons and a Boy Scout, they go on an amazing adventure where he rediscovers his youth and the glory of the world and love all together. And it's so good. It's so
it
good.
is good. And
it tugs
I
at the
love
heartstrings.
just looking at just how they design things and, the animation, and it inspires ideas for, obviously I do lots of art projects and different things, but so watching some of these kids movies and that really inspires some other
For sure.
projects to come from that.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones where they've kind of really started to get towards the best. This was in the era when WALL-E came out, and then after The Incredibles, and like they kind of really start to tell adult stories with real themes that really kind of resonate home, but it's all masqueraded as a kids movie. So you have your kids there, they're like, oh, this is so fun and adorable, and you have your parents that are over there crying and being like, I feel
yes,
this.
I know.
I feel this.
So good. It's a great movie to watch with the family, and again, you get inspired by it, and lots of reasons to tune into that one as well. So let's talk about all these films. These are all available on DVD, and what kind of things are available at Video Warehouse for people that just want to go in and snag a good movie?
So Video Warehouse is amazing. Like we all remember Blockbuster, but at Video Warehouse, it's puts like 2 blockbusters together. So it's a massive building right there off Merle Hay.
Okay.
It has everything you could imagine. It's broken down by genre and new releases and everything. So really,
are they going to have at the counter there your picks, your top picks?
We're pushing
All right,
for
it.
We got to get people going out there asking for it. So this is going to be a weekly segment that we get to do where we talk about it, and every single movie that we talk about is going to be there. And hopefully the people watching at home will go to the Iowa Live Facebook, where we're going to put something on there where they can vote for their best that we talked about today.
Okay.
And they can also talk about which ones we're going to talk about for next week. So.
It's nice to get everybody's kind of feedback on that and see if anybody disputes your favorites.
Oh, bring it.
Or, you know,
bring all
you
the
love
arguments.
That, right?
I want it. I want it so bad.
Or maybe people could make some suggestions too
certain.
to movies that they maybe want to see. Are they good? And you know, kind of throw it the other direction as well.
Yes.
All right, Nathan, thank you.
Thank you
Good
so much.
stuff as always. Thank you for watching that Cinemaniacs. You can catch it every Monday here on Iowa Live.